Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to the channel today on my 250 kilometre quick review on the Suzuki Vstrom 250 SX. Now, unfortunately, when I went out there yesterday, I didn't realise on the camera lens that an insect had flown on, sort of splattered up against the front of it, which caused a little bit of a annoyance there when you're looking at the clip. But there's nothing much you can do about that, or I can't do nothing about that, so I don't have to be reminded there. So, you know, if you're watching this sort of review on it and you think to yourself it's too annoying for you, you know, YouTube's a big place and you'll find another person there doing a review and go for that one. He mightn't tell you the truth, but you'll find one there because there's a lot of them out there telling the stories, but the stories aren't really straight. But apart from that, for the few hundred people that look at the clips when I put them up, I'm not going out there riding another 150 kilometres just to go back to that place and then redo it again. So that party's over for me. But if you want to watch it, go ahead, see what you think. There might be something of interest if you're in the market to buy one of these 250 SXs. And if you find it too annoying with that bug splattered around on the screen, well, you can always splatter off to another channel and no harm done. So that's the best way to look at it that way. So once again, we'll get on with this clip, and if you're in the market for a 250 SX, I think there'll be some good stuff on there for you to watch. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the channel today. I'm out here on the Vstrom 250 SX and just filling in days like all pensioners do when sort of they retire on the workforce, and all you are is filling in time and waiting for that word next. So, you know, that next could be next bike or it could be next call, so whatever way you look at it. So anyway, I'm out here on this one here and it's running all right. I'm just testing it today without the windscreen on it, like so. And the reason being, you know, I was just curious because yesterday I was running the classic 350 Reborn. It never had the screen on it and it was performing pretty well without it. And I just thought, oh well, with the bell bubble helmet and visor, I thought I'd just come out here and give it a run and see what it's like. So, you know, overall I don't think it cruises along quite as good as the classic 350 in naked form. And I suppose that could have something to do with, you know, this area here where the screen goes up. That might knock things around. But overall it wasn't too bad, so I got no complaints that way. So apart from that, well, like I said, 250 k's down. I'm still sort of kicking myself for dropping this bike in that mud the other day, which, like I said, on one of the other clips I got coming up, broke the handguards, bent me gear shifter there and it was locked in gear and I had to ride it home, what was it, 35 kilometres in second gear. And I think I slightly threw the steering off alignment. So apart from that, that wasn't a bad effort for a drop, so you can't complain there. But as far as what speed I was going, I wasn't going very fast, not far, probably a bit over walking pace if anything before it touched the ground. So I don't know, it sort of has pissed me off a bit about what happened there, and since then I've lost a bit of respect on the running side, so I don't really care much now because it never cost me much money. So, you know, like I'll just give it a bit of a workout, see how it performs, and then that way if you come back and look and you can get a good honest review here how the bike's going compared to some of the other channels probably fill your mind with shit. So and if that's the shit you want to hear, well, go to those channels and you probably won't hear anything negative or anything like that, because they're there to keep friends and they're also there to keep subs and they're also there to keep you interested. So all those sort of things. And had a bit of trouble with that gear shifter too. It's hard to believe. Like in the backyard, I had to remove the linkage completely, and there's a bolt there on the side of it, like so. So I took that off, believe it or not, took that off, and then realised that my appointment for the doctor for a flu needle was, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes away or something to that effect. And I thought, oh well, I'll leave the stuff on the ground, when I come back I'll be right. So that was all right, but when I did get back, the bolt was missing. And the only culprit I could think of was there's been a magpie hanging around underneath the veranda, and I'm pretty sure he come past and grabbed that bolt and pissed off with it, and I lost the bolt there because I definitely put it there. You know, it's not an old age thing where, where did I put that? that was the purpose of it, putting it right below the bike to make sure I knew where it was. And sure enough, when I come back, it was totally gone, and I had to go looking for another bolt, and that's not the original in it, but that's the way it goes, and it's working all right. Plus, then I had the other problem. I got up to the doctor's, and I was sitting there, and I said, I suppose once I got there, my appointment was running on time, and I thought it was only 15 minutes, and then I got there and had to wait there for half an hour. Sure enough, this is hard to believe, but I'm sitting there, and it's never happened to me before in my life. And the nurse comes out and says, Graham. Now, this other person ahead of me gets up, and he walks towards her, and he'd only been there a couple of minutes, and I got up because I thought she was talking to me, and I thought he was going to the toilet. And we go around the corner, and she said, Graham W., which would be me, and he just stood there like a dildo, and apart from that, I said, no, that's me. And she said, sorry, she said, it's never happened before. I've called out two names and a name when two people come along. I said, yeah. So apart from that, she turned him around, faced him back out towards the thing, because he was probably a little bit older than me, or he might have been the same age, it's hard to say. Either way, he was an old bastard, whatever you look at it. So as he walked past, I said to him, missed it by 30 minutes. And you know, that's the trouble. You know, you get two people by the name of Graham, honestly. Over the years, I've met a few Grahams, and they've all been arseholes, to be honest. Like, if I met there somebody and somebody says their name's Graham, I don't have nothing to do with them, because, you know, that's the way I call it. So, you know, like, any of them I've met real pricks, so, you know, I'd probably fit into that category too, so that's the way it goes. But anyway, back to this bike. I do find now, I'm sort of giving it a bit of a workout. Like I said, I don't care much. It's only a bike, and I like I do like the end wheels more, but this does everything. If you're on the fence and you want to buy something like this, this runs along at 100 kilometres an hour now, very little vibration in the bars, tracks well. You know, you can put her up along 110 and it'll still sit there nice and easy on 110. Once again, virtually not a great deal of vibe running through it compared to other bikes. And I think the biggest fault you'll probably find is that rear shocker, because the rear shocker does give you a little bit of a hard bounce at times. But you have to remember too, it's only $6,500, which is really nothing. And for your $6,500, you're still getting a really good bike to ride, if the sort of bike you're looking at now is the one you're after. I do find these new bikes, to be honest, I don't know, they just haven't got the old school feel like the Enfields, and you know, like, I suppose I'm getting to the stage now where I'm a little bit biased towards Enfields, but, well, I probably have all the time, because I wouldn't have bought 20 if I didn't like them. It's just I had trouble getting a good one. Now, as far as this one goes, if you're on the fence and you're sort of there thinking, should I buy one of these? Well, for that sort of money, and you know, the gearbox is all right, although I have to do a little bit of adjustment on the gearbox on this, the linkage, because I don't think I've got it 100% in the position it was before. But as far as comfort goes, that's all right. You know, the seat's okay in stock form. The riding position on the bike itself, on the angle or triangle, what they talk about, what you sit when you're riding it, I don't know, it's a little bit sort of push knees in and legs up a little bit more than what I'm used to. But coming out here now, like I just rode, I don't know, 65 kilometres, and you know, I got no buzzing in the hands or anything like that from the ride out here, so that's all right too. I haven't bothered taking it out at night because I don't care. You know, like I don't think I'm allowed out at night time on the bike. I'd have to get a note from the wife to go out, so I can't see that happening. And you know, at 250 an hour, I might start giving the brakes, the front ones, a work out and see if I can get those running a little bit better, and give you an opinion later on if the brakes work okay or not. Hey, we're a bit spongy in the first part of it, but you know, the main thing I'm telling you about now, this bike tracks all right, it runs all right, it's a really good value for its money. And apart from that rear suspension, where I suppose one day you'll be able to pick up a shock and put in it and put a better quality one on it, it'd be pretty good in that line. That 33-inch seat height, or 835, I don't find any drama with it, except when I came off it a couple of days ago on the dirt. I think if I would have been on a smaller bike, I might have been able to control it a bit better. But, You know, like these are a fair size compared to, you know, I still think they're not all that much smaller than the 500X. They're a bit misleading if you want a bike that's a fair size, and you know, it's only a smaller CC and pretty good price there. So apart from that, that's about it. So the thing you're going away at the moment with 250 kilometres on it. It's a great little start. I have no trouble starting it. It's fairly smooth in all areas up to 110, probably a bit quicker, you know, like if you want to move it along. And it's not affected all that much by wind, and except probably people doing the interviews, probably a bit of wind there. But apart from that, you know, you don't have any really drama with it that would sort of throw you off it. And it seems to be able to pull some of the hills pretty well in 6th gear. So the 6th gear sort of is geared all right for pulling the hills. On the way back, I'll be running a few good hills, and I'll see how that side of it goes. But overall, you know, I think for its value for money, it's still, like I said, a really good value for money bike. And it hasn't done nothing wrong except lay on its side when it chucked a tantrum on that dirt road. So apart from that, all is good there, and hopefully this will give you a little bit more on this one, and you know, you find it a bit interesting. And I mean, don't worry about what I say about the heaps, what I say about the bikes, because, you know, like there's a bit difference between someone that really wants the bike and somebody who just buys one. Like there's the person that really wants one knows what they're after, and the other person's just a time waster and filling in time and just getting on something, going for a ride, see if it's any good or not. If you always thought to yourself you wouldn't mind a nice little all-round Suzuki at a good price, this is the bike to buy. And I'm here to tell you that, rather than I don't know, piss in your pocket and tell you all stories that you know, anything negative there. The only thing I can think at the moment is that as it's coming up to its 250 k's, is that rear shock is a little bit firm. Now, if you say, how firm is it, Warro? Is it really, really bad? No, it's not really, really bad. It's about equal to running over bumps what's on an Enfield. The front end goes on over it all right. You get a bit of a bang on the back section, but you know, you don't get out there and get your spine misaligned in 3 places and off you go to a chiropractor. It's not like that. It's you know, like, just let you know, it's not, it's a little bit firm at the back when you hit some of the bumps, but it doesn't jolt or jar right through the bike. So apart from that, that's about all I can tell you on this one. It's a good day out here in the guts of the Australian bush. And when you look down here, like, this is something to think about. There's 2 roads here. One is a train track on the left, and we got the road, normal road, straight, good stretch of road on the right. Just think how much money the railway would have saved along here, because it goes into a cutting just there with a bridge. Now you imagine if in those days, if they would have brought a bypass over to this main stretch of road along here, and they could have let the train run up here, see? So I'm an ideas man, see, I can get out here and think of all different ways that you can save money, and it costs them nothing. So apart from that great bit of speech there on that side of it, and look at that, you very rarely see 2 roads running together so close. But that's how it is, and it's been like that for years. And I think we'll call it quits on this one, and I might take a couple of photos of this Vstrom, and we'll go from there. And I think there'll be an update coming on shortly on that Hunter, because I've had a few issues with that Royal Enfield Hunter, so it's hard to say what's going to go in that line at the moment unless Royal Enfield cooperate with me. So apart from that, that's about it. We'll catch up with you later date. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of a thing. I don't know if I could swing it on, and you might be able to see I've got 250 just to show you. Go. Where is the bloody thing? Yeah. 245, it's 246. About 246 anyway. So petrol bar's getting down a bit too. So I've done 246 on the tank, haven't put any petrol in it, so I'm on 3 bars or something left. So that side's going all right too. And apart from that, we'll call this one a wrap. Take a couple of photos and then go on my way back with that Blake Pisovsky and head back home. So see you later.